much. Gentleman from South Carolina is now recognized for
I
any
won't
questions.
belabor the point. We've been here a long time. Let me just say, Mike, I echo a lot of your opinions. I'll be a little bit stronger, though. This bill is smoke and mirrors. You know, never are we talking about the interest on the existing debt. Forget everything else. $32 trillion, $1 trillion is $30 billion if you 3% interest rate. $1 billion. Do the math. It's going to exceed just the interest. That's where I don't understand where we're coming from. I voted for this bill because it started us in the right direction. But, you know, to solve the problem with this bill, I get why the Democrats are voting for it. They're going from never voting for us when we put it up to now, because they're getting pretty much what they want. We should have walked away when President Biden was waiting 100 days, going to Japan and God knows where else. We should have called his bluff and said, when you get serious, when you put it in writing, we will be back at the table. Until then, don't play games. I don't want photo ops. That's what's so frustrating about what we're doing. Don't tell me, and I hear it all the time, well, it's not going to pass the Senate. I'm not in the Senate. I don't have the control of the Senate. Well, we'll do it tomorrow. Today, this is today. This is our shining moment to face it. The reason the voters kicked the Democrats out is for mismanagement. Granted, it's a small majority, but we got the majority. We can do it. And to back up on, and Chairman, Jason, I agree, it was a good first start. We gave it all away. I don't buy Janet Yellen for a minute. She's changed the date 3 times, and I told the chairman this. She changed the date. The D-Day is June 1. No, it's June 5th. No, it's June 8th. I mean, give me a break. I was born at night, but not last night. And, you know, when I see us giving a rogue administration, what he's done on this for our country, I don't know how we walk it back. Mr. McGovern, I like you as a person, but when I hear you talking about help the poor, help bring people out of poverty, what about those poor people coming over the border that are being massacred every day from starvation? What about the children that have fentanyl is killing them, 100,000? Where's your meetings on that? Where are the hearings? What about those people? What about, I'll give you...
You're in charge. We don't get to call hearings here. You do.
No, you can bring them up. And this didn't start. This started under the Biden administration. The Pelosi wouldn't bring it up because she just, I guess, wants to ignore it and get as many people in here on the public dole. But no, this is a smoke and mirrors. That's my real issue with it. If we really were serious, we would stick to this. It's not that much. And Chairman Smith, I guess the linchpin for me is when we gave this administration no limits on the debt. He could go to any limit. He could go to any amount he wanted. We had $1.5 trillion until March of 24. Now we're giving him till 25. I don't understand that. The only people happy with this are China, who is continuing to buy debt, and then the Biden administration, which is going rogue on spending at every level. We spent $10 trillion in 2 years. So why are we not? Am I missing something?
Representative, the bill increases the debt limit to a date and not an amount. Where the debt is created is by what Congress appropriates. And so as we move forward in appropriations, whether it's the discretionary spending or whether we do changes to the mandatory spending, will all rest on future Congress activity. All this bill does is state the date as January of 2025.
Does it not concern you? He stated his position, the president has. Clean debt limit, no cuts, not $1. Are you not worried about what this administration will do? And I get it goes through the Appropriations Committee and has to be approved, but we lose our leverage by just putting an unlimited amount. Do you agree or not agree?
I think it's about Congress holding the purse strings, and one provision in this bill that I think really helps hold the administration accountable is the pay-go for the administrative activities. Just in the president's done over 500 different executive actions. We did a calculation when I was the budget ranker of 6 of those 500, just pick 6, and it cost over $1 trillion. And under the provision that's in this bill would prevent that. And so that is extremely important in helping going after our debt. And, you know, of course, I would like to go a lot farther, but that is definitely a step that's helpful.
Let me ask you this about pay-go. There is a provision in this bill that lets the OMB director pretty much waive the pay-go rules. How are we getting around that?
Yeah, that's a provision that, like I said, I wouldn't want. But for the first time in the history of America, pay-go administratively is now going to be in statute. I was very, very glad that President Trump did that by executive order. It's good to have this in statute. And, you know, in Congress, and just in government, period, sometimes you got to take baby steps instead of getting everything that you want. And this bill is clearly not everything that I want by any means. I want a lot more, but it's definitely way better than that blank check debt limit that the president was pushing.
I guess I'm asking, with pay-go is in words, but OMB, who answers to the president, can waive it. So how does that put the teeth in it?
And OMB also answers to Congress, who funds them. And so Congress will also have a back check to make sure OMB is following the rule of the law. Or we can zero out their budget. That's what you do in an appropriations process.
Well, I can tell you and I like the 1% cut, you know, as a lever. But think about what, and Thomas brought this up, in the business arena, is that really a punishment if you tell the business, we're going to really punish you, we're going to cut it, your business income 1%, but we're going to leave 99% intact? What kind of insanity is that? I mean, you cut only in government can you not cut 1%. You ask that family that's being cut far more than 1% with what they're paying for gas, with what they're paying for food, with what they're paying for housing. It's a complete joke.
In the first 2 years of the one-party Democrat rule with Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden, with their $10 trillion increase in new spending, it led to the highest inflation in a generation. 14.9% inflation has gone up since Joe Biden's taken the oath of office. So that means every American, every working class member has lost 14.9% cuts because they have to pay more to put food on their table, clothes on their backs, and gasoline in their cars. So
all self-inflicted.
very, very, very
tough.
tough.
Self-inflicted. Well, you know, as we debate each item, and I'm not going to bore you with going down through them, but I am amazed on the work requirements. You ask the average family business, boy, they're really tough, 20 hours a week, some of it voluntarily. And Ron, I don't understand. I mean, yes, we got it in TANF. Yes, we got it in SNAP. But, oh, by the way, Medicaid, taking it out. Because, as Ms. McGovern says, work doesn't work. You tell that to your average family that goes to work and puts in far more than 20 hours a week. It's insanity.
I didn't say that.
You said work doesn't work.
I didn't say work doesn't work. I said the work requirements that we have in place are not resulting in more people going to work and getting a job because their lives are complicated. That's what I said.
What's the difference?
The difference is work works, right? I mean, but the work requirements on a lot of these vulnerable people, I gave you examples, you know, of people who have had surgeries or are in pain who can't quite get to the 20 hours. And
The exclusions on that.
no, there are not exclusions on that.
Yes, there are.
No, there are not. There are not. I'm happy to share them with you. But contrary to what the stereotype is, no, these people are not lazy, and their lives are very complicated.
They're getting a government paycheck.
Yeah, $6
Work
a day.
20 hours, reclaiming my time. 20 hours is a bare minimum. This is what builds confidence. This is what gets you off the government payroll. That's where we're in two different universes.
We are. You're in a different universe entirely. Thank you.
You've got a view that work is bad. I'm sorry. America was built.
I did
on
not
work.
say that. Please do not misrepresent what I said. Thank you.
I'm saying exactly what you're expressing in so many different terms with a lot of different words. But there's no need to go any further on it. I wish we had a real bill that was going to make a difference. We did in the original bill. This being watered down is completely, takes the teeth out of it. And I see why the Democrats are voting for it. I see it now. I yield back.
Thank you, gentlemen.